Hello and welcome to IABM TV. Today I'm joined by Jon Hilton, Sales and Marketing at PortaPrompt. Jon, welcome to IABM TV.
Thanks, Ben.
Can you start by telling us about PortaPrompt?
Yeah, PortaPrompt, company been going since about 1976, family-owned business. All we do is prompting. I describe us almost like as a bespoke boutique. We're very agile and able to do a lot of sort of individual builds for particular client needs, from things like 32-inch monitors that we did for ITV a number of years ago, down to little bespoke systems and so on. But yeah, prompting, that's the name of the game for us.
And so Jon, why use prompting? What's the benefits and why should people bother?
I think it's simple. Maybe before we dive into that, there are sort of two aspects to the prompt business. One is the conference business, which is using the sort of poles, what we call Obama glass, I guess now we call it Trump glass. Yeah. And in fact, in all fairness, Donald Trump has used our motorised poles at the Republican conference last summer. So that's a very separate business, sort of events and conferencing and so on. I guess really heart of IBC is the broadcast television and sort of corporate video production piece. And the real benefit of prompting is very simple. It's about maintaining eye line through camera, so you're keeping credible. And certainly when you're closing up sort of mid-shot or a big sort of big close-up and so on, keeping that eye line down the lens on a piece to camera is really important. I think the second thing though, which is just as viable, is about reducing the number of takes. If you can get 10 takes down to 3 or 4 takes with that professionalism associated with it, you're suddenly looking at a whole bunch of production benefits and saving money essentially. So the investment in prompt will actually in the long term save you money in production.
Yep. Okay, and what sort of technology and products are helping to achieve
Yeah,
these
sure.
goals?
Historically, prompting came from sort of big, heavy CRT monitors hanging on bits of rigging. The weight of the monitor itself sort of limited some of the things that you can do. But the advent, certainly, of flat panel technology has led to much larger screens in the broadcast world. I'll use an example. We're doing a number of shows at the BBC starting this month. Generation Game, Jonathan Ross, Russell Howard, we've got Strictly coming up at Elstree and so on. And all production, and certainly presentation, are large monitors. We've got big 24-inch monitors. With the weight of the flat panels now, we can do that. In fact, one of the things we're working on, one company are looking for a 32-inch prompter. Okay. And some of this is down to presenters not wanting to wear glasses and be able to read. So, there's an element of technical, production, and individual requirements within it. So that's sort of quite interesting. At the other end of the spectrum is sort of things like tablet-based prompting. And in fact, hey, look, we're using a 365 our rig here. And that's put prompting in, maybe sort of made it viable for smaller productions that can't cost justify a big full-on operating system with an operator and so on, but is providing the benefits. And again, what we're looking at here is continuity, keeping the whole thing down and getting those 10 takes down to 5. So more efficient in your production, quicker time to get up to the pub in the evening.
I mean, I have to say, having used this one at the show, the ease of getting the script on there, it was so complete breeze to use. Using the tablet and just putting it on. Once it was all set up on the camera and everything, so it has really.
Well, that's great news to hear, and I say, certainly, I think as we see, sort of advent again of the YouTube, the Vimeo generation, and so on, more and more, and it's not just in broadcast. Great amount of the work that we do is actually corporate videos. Chief executive coming in with, I've got a half-hour update for the troops, if you like. So having sort of technology like this is just putting that efficiency in place.
I suppose now that video is becoming so much more, everybody's using video now, as part of their marketing strategy, so to be able to do that so much easier.
Frankly, my biggest competitor is a post-it note under the camera.
We've all been there, Jon. I see somebody holding up bits of paper. So, what's new for you guys at IBC then?
Okay, so we're showing all our sort of regular stuff. So our tablets, our little micro prompts. We've got a mid-budget system called Fusion, and we're showing our big broadcast range of Quasar and Premium. But really, the big news story is we're putting IP prompting onto our broadcast range. Okay. So we've updated our WinDigi software into an IP system. We've got a master control system that will allow you to allocate any control system to any head-up. And this is where I think the real benefits of IP from a prompting perspective are going to come. But it's the launch of that software, which we hope it will be available for sale sort of early in December, sort of beginning of 2018. I think the real benefit of IP prompting is many broadcasters are saying, hey, look, we need manufacturing base to look at sort of reducing costs. We need more for less. And we're going, yeah, that's all very well, but people cost are people cost. The tin costs the tin. So we have to look at other aspects of the production. So if we can save cost on travel, location, hotels. I'll use an example with ITV. We've been talking with them in Manchester. For the Cilla Black funeral they wanted to link in from the newsroom system in Manchester to actually on location at the funeral in Liverpool. They didn't want to put tablets on because there were security issues. So what they wanted to do was have a little microprompt or something that could hook up to the news server and actually be controlled from the news server in Manchester. Now before IP that would never have been available. Now with that technology, so they're saving on, you haven't got to get an operator out to Manchester, pick up the parking, and all the rest of it and so on. There are maybe some issues around proximity to presenter, so it's got to have production values around it, but that really is what the big story is. And we're really excited about the IP thing. I think it's going to lead to a number of other things that will be developed in prompting over the next few years as well.
So is there a security risk at all with it going IP with people? I was talking to the crew earlier. There's it's a great video we've seen. I think it's in Russia where a guy hacks into a starts speeding it up.
It's scary, isn't it? Yeah.
Is that a risk?
Yeah, of course it is. And we're doing quite a lot. If I say some of the work we do at BBC Glasgow, where we're bringing an operator in with our own PC. That has to be an approved PC that has been sort of approved with the BBC IT group. They're not prepared to put any old bit of rogue IT onto their network. Security is a big issue. And it depends on the security issues between organisations and companies. Everybody has different rules.
And so what's the future for PortaPrompt then, Jon?
We are predominantly a rental company, so 85% of our turnover is on sort of OPEX. So the OPEX CAPEX thing is not really an issue for us because we've been doing OPEX since 1976. So operator on production budget with kit. Really my sort of role of joining, it's the family business if you like. I left Sony, 3.5 years ago, and I'm trying to put some of my expertise, well, we can question my expertise, but I'm trying to put some of my experience into that to grow our sales side, sort of broaden out and move just out of the UK and look at sort of some of the global opportunities that we've got there. So we're seeing growth potentially coming from the sales side, whilst maintaining and seeing some growth certainly in our rental business, but looking at that sort of double-digit bit within the sales environment. And that's really what I'm trying to do and help the guys to do as we plan for the future, whatever that may look like. Yeah, exactly. It was that old story. I used to have a crystal ball, but I couldn't see a future in it, so I threw it away.
Well, Jon, thank you for joining us, and thank you for loaning us the 365.
Pleasure, Ben. I'm really pleased it's gone well for you.
Thank you.
Super.
You can find out more about all of these products at portaprompt.co.uk.